Hello and welcome to Face to Face with me. I'm Daisy Anwar, a program that brings the world to your screen and where we meet people who make a difference on the international stage. In this episode, I meet Kitaro, a renowned, multi-talented, multi-instrumentalist musician and composer of Japanese origin. Many of you will be quite familiar with this music that's been around for over 3 decades and has often been used as soundtracks to films. Now, Kitaro is the pioneer of New Age music that blends the sound of nature with global harmonies and global instruments. I spent today with Kitaro during his recent performance in Jakarta, where I got to know him up close and personal and found him a very kind and humble and extremely unique and talented man. So join me here on Face to Face with Daisy Anwar. I meet Kitaro and his band members for breakfast at a hotel in Jakarta. As someone who grew up to the sound of Kitaro's music, I'm more than eager to get to know this long-haired musician who was born in Japan but has spent the last 3 decades of his life living in America. For over 30 years, Kitaro has produced and composed musical works that have touched people all over the world, with the universality of its sound and the inspiring harmonies produced by the instruments that he plays. It has been well over a decade since he last performed in Jakarta. This time, his tour to Jakarta coincides with the recent tragic tsunamis in Japan. So, from the hotel, we head to the campus of the University of Indonesia in Depok, west of Java, to watch students put on a Pray for Japan program that Kitaro wishes to attend. On the way, Kitaro and his wife Keiko share with me some of their stories. Keiko, this is your first time in Jakarta?
Second time.
Second time.
Yeah, the last time we were together here.
What year was that?
Long time. It's almost
18 years ago.
18 years ago.
You watch your show? 1993.
Yeah, 93, yes.
But you were speaking very good Indonesian. But is it fun collaborating as musicians, but at the same time you're married to one another? Does it work?
It works.
Oh, yeah.
Works so good.
You don't have a fight saying no?
Sometimes during the rehearsal, sometimes fighting.
But who wins? I'm sure you win.
No, always.
No, in the house, maybe.
In the house,
But
she won. Musically, I won.
Yeah, so maybe we are even though.
Okay. So how long have you lived in the States for?
It's close to 30 years.
Wow. Practically American then.
I used to live in the mountain, Colorado. That was 17 years. And then moved to, right now, the Northern California, 5.5 years. And before that, we had office in Los Angeles and New York City. I moved. But finally, I got home and a studio. in Colorado and Northern California.
Why Colorado?
The mountains. Because it's the same as the Japanese has. I used to live in the mountain in Japan. So the some of spiritual mountain has, we feel something. Maybe some of Indonesian peoples has the same. So I like to live in the mountains.
You like nature?
Yeah, living in the nature.
So how many tours in 1 year?
Not many,
Average.
not many, because I need to be in my studio, working at the studio for create the new CD and new project productions. So I built myself. My studio is like carpenting.
So we like to say thank you. Terima kasih.
Melihat mimpi, kami merasakan harapan. Kami mengerti arti sebuah cita-cita. Karena kami percaya setiap orang punya potensi untuk selalu mengembangkan diri. Kami hadir sejak negeri ini berdiri, siap melayani dan selalu mendukung pengembangan itu sepenuhnya. BNI 64 tahun turut mengembangkan Indonesia.
Resapi nikmatnya Indomie keriting baru dengan kelezatan topping asli dipadu keunikan bumbu bentuk pasta. Indomie keriting begitu istimewa.
The name Kitaro is actually a nickname given by his friends from a Japanese cartoon character, meaning man of joy and love. His real name is Masanori Takahashi. Kitaro was born to a peasant couple in Toyohashi, Aichiken, Japan in 1953. But for the last 30 years, he has lived in Colorado, the USA, and has enjoyed fame as a world-class musician and composer. Kitaro is known in the international world through his work for the NHK film series Silk Road. He was awarded a Golden Globe Award for his work that became the film soundtrack of Heaven and Earth. In addition, he was also awarded a Grammy Award for his Thinking of You. In the mid-1990s, Kitaro married his second wife, Keiko Matsubara, a musician who plays on several of his albums and until now accompanies Kitaro to perform his concerts, including this one to Jakarta. Our arrival at the Faculty of Culture at the University of Indonesia, where the charity event is being held for Japan, Keiko and Kitaro are given a warm welcome by students and academics.
Untuk Jepang dan Indonesia yang satu. I'd like to say thank you on behalf of people in Japan. We know that all the support and help from the Indonesian peoples. So we'd like to say thank you. Terima kasih.
A sweet and charming man, Kitaro seems appreciative of the students performing music in front of him. Even his own music performed on the kulintang instruments by a student group. As a matter of fact, Kitaro seems appreciative of everything in life, even the hustle and bustle of the Jakarta traffic.
Kids not worried about. Just
It's
walk.
an ordered chaos. Orderly chaos. But this is a very crowded part of Jakarta. Kitaro-san, welcome to Jakarta.
Thank you.
Not your first visit to Indonesia.
Actually, the fourth time is maybe. Yeah.
How'd you find Indonesia? Did you like it?
My first visit in Indonesia is more than 30 years ago. And I was there in Bali Island, Sulawesi Island. It's kind of back and forth, stayed maybe almost 1 month.
Kitaro-san, I mean, you are a living legend. I mean, you've been out there for 4 decades now. Amazing work, and you've done lots of performances around the world, and I think the whole world knows your music. Perhaps you could share with us a little bit about how you started your music career.
Well, as my music careers, actually, I never educated the music. I try to trust my ears, and but today I can lead the scores, some of the orchestra scores, but as the early days, I cannot. What is this?
So you never had a musical education?
Nothing.
With a music teacher saying, you know, these are the notes?
Nobody teach me. But as I play with during the amateurs, I was in the play with my classmate, and that's the time, you know, to play guitars and play keyboard, play drums. It's just played. But after I decided, I like to go to the professionals. But still, I didn't have any, you know, the educations from the professional person. But I believe it's kind of a more, how can I say it, more
It came from inside.
emotional things can be nothing follow from the, you know, from the like educational route, you know, the way. So I decided, okay, I can follow my feeling and my, you know, the energies and kind of emotional feeling. And then many years I stayed at Japan, but as finally I, you know, decided, let's move to United States.
Why did you decide to move?
Because United States was the kind of the seems like a top level of the entertainment, the countries, and then like okay, let's go, and finally I made it, I did it.
So, but this was something that you've always wanted to do since you were a child, or were you encouraged by your parents to
play tennis? When I was a student, the high school student, I played the tennis a lot, and then I would think about I'm going to the professional tennis players until the second grade of at high school, and then all of a sudden my friends asked me about can we play music? And then, really music?
And you've never played music before?
Yes. Because I didn't interesting about music, and then only I focused play tennis, and then okay, maybe I can go to the watching the rehearsals or playing and then I went there, the rehearsal studio and then I watching. They're playing so good. It's like fun. Maybe I can do something.
Just like that.
That's just before the Beatles was coming up. So many of the music is coming from Europe, from United States, from Southeast Asia. Some of the music is coming, and then wow, and then it's all new music for me. Not the traditional Japanese music. So I think about, maybe I can try. And then I bought one guitar. That's my first instrument.
And what did you compose? What was your very first composition?
Compositions during play with my classmate, and I was 17. That was, I did it, a couple of songs I composed. That was my first compositions, but I don't remember.
But then how did you choose your instrument? I mean, obviously you play sort of a lot of synthesizers, but what made you choose your particular instrument?
One of the reasons, one time all the amateur bands, and then we played, and then the bassist get sick, and then nobody has a member play the bass guitars, and then okay, I can do that, and then I try to play that one. And then another day the drummers got sick or some accident, and then he couldn't play. Okay, I can play. So that's I'm trying to.
So you can play every instrument?
Yeah. It's pianos, guitars, bass, drums, basic, these, the instrument. And then I started another flute and harp and some guzheng in China. So one by one.
And now you know how to play angklung.
Angklung, yes, yeah.
Is it from here or from here?
Coming from somewhere, and then through me.
Kami merasakan harapan dan mengerti arti sebuah cita-cita. Kami percaya setiap orang punya potensi untuk selalu berkembang. Kami hadir untuk melayani dan selalu mendukung pengembangan itu sepenuhnya. BNI 64 tahun turut mengembangkan Indonesia.
Untuk beragam aktivitas, gantikan cairan tubuh dengan lemon atau orange water. Minuman isotonik unik dengan 1000 mg vitamin C.
Kami merasakan harapan dan mengerti arti sebuah cita-cita. Kami percaya setiap orang punya potensi untuk selalu berkembang. Kami hadir untuk melayani dan selalu mendukung pengembangan itu sepenuhnya. BNI 64 tahun turut mengembangkan Indonesia.
Where does the music come from? I mean, if we listen to Kitaro's music, everybody knows, oh, that's Kitaro. It's very distinctive. You have your own signature, and it's very different to everybody else's. Where did that come from? It must come from somewhere.
Like that. Nature gave me the many of essence of musical and melody lines. And even flowers, something kind of like the nature's. I used to live in the mountains in Colorado. It's the Rocky Mountains. So the deep mountains, they have many of kind of during the snow, even the snow falling. And then this movement is the melodies. So I'm trying to watching the snow falling, and then all of a sudden melodies coming up, and then go to the studio, and then play, and then I decide pick up the note by note. Oh, this is a nice one. This is a nice one. So all the inspirations nature gave me.
Until now, it's still nature.
Still, yes. That's very interesting, but is the nature's, the movement, or some even small things, even one leaf fall down. If I felt something, its movement become to the melody line.
So when, say, the snow falls or the leaf falls, you can hear music in your head.
So that's. The
that
nature
is a creative
nature is my
process.
teachers.
But since the moment you hear, whether it's the rustling of the leaves or the snow falling, until it becomes a melody, a composition, how long does the creative process take until it becomes a finished?
I don't know. Nobody can tell me about how long does it take to the whole song finish. So I cannot guarantee. Sometimes the kind of song, the theme song of the Silk Road, is people will know the song. That song I composed just one day. And even a Heaven and Earth, the theme song, the part of the Heaven and Earth, one day.
What happened? I mean, what were you listening to when you composed the
all the ideas are coming. It's almost like nothing to cut it out. And they're coming to the next sound, And just one day, I composed the whole theme section. But it's sometimes just spend the time at the studio, maybe week, nothing. Sometimes a month, nothing.
And then one day?
One day is coming.
Do you feel as if it's the music flowing through you?
Yeah.
Is it from here or from here?
Coming from somewhere,
from?
And then through me. So I'm not worried about the compositions, but all the production people worry about the timing. The time. The dead ends. Another week, we need to finish the whole things. But I said, oh, well, it's no problem.
But is there a message that you like to impart through your music?
Well,
maybe to reflect the nature that inspires you.
I will try to focusing, sometimes meditate, try to more focusing and watching the inside of mind, like meditated, watching, the inside, and I like to try to hear myself, what I'm thinking, what I focus, and then what we need to have try to concentrate.
Kitaro's respect and care for Mother Earth can be seen in his music, as well as the ritual act he performs at Taiko Festival at the base of Mount Fuji, which he has conducted annually since 1983. This act of giving thanks to Mother Nature takes place on the day of the August full moon as he beats on the taiko drum from dusk to dawn. Every year, people from all over the world watch and assist him during his performance. As nature inspires Kitaro, we as humans sometimes forget and even neglect the importance of tuning ourselves to our natural surroundings. We often take, but we often forget to return or give back. Moreover, we often exploit the earth and use its elements carelessly. But what is it that you're trying to say through your music? I mean, it's very haunting, spiritual in a way, and you can use your music for meditation, like you said.
Yeah, but we don't know when the music and the sound is coming from, and then when we can finish. But I'm trying to following the movement. If I like to go to the driving, but the driving is not the sightseeing. Try to focusing more inside. Listen my music, and its meaning. Listening my music is meaning is meditations, another kind of meditation, and then driving, and then focusing, and then back to the studio, got another idea. Okay, let's go back.
But your music is very spiritual.
Spirituals, or I don't know what the word is. I'm trying to compose from our heart, my heart. So, which is spiritual. I don't know, the word is a little strange for me.
How would you describe your music? I mean, it's been described as New Age maybe a while back, but how would you describe your music now?
Yes, we started the New Age music. The New Age categories was 1986, I think, at the Grammy Awards situation. It was 1986 they started, and at the time I was the New Age. It's young, but
you're still young now.
I'm getting older, but it was really kind of
it was new. I mean,
it's new. Not like jazz, not like pop, not like classical. It's something new, and then my instrument is new synthesizers. So the synthesizer is electric music, but it's not only the electric music. It's kind of in between, but it's something new. Sometimes we call the new classic, something like with classical, the cello, violin, we're using that, but it's something new. So like a neoclassical, we put something.
But is it still New Age now? We are now.
I still New Age in the categories, but I'm getting older age.
But is there a point, you think, to your music, the desire to make music other than to express nature? Is there an objective to it?
That's the reason, one of the reasons I need to stay in the natures all the time.
bukan membuat wanita tak punya waktu untuk mengurus diri sendiri. Serahkan pada WRP Diet to Go. Mengenyangkan di mana saja, kapan saja. New WRP Diet to Go.
Kami merasakan harapan dan mengerti arti sebuah cita-cita. Kami percaya setiap orang punya potensi untuk selalu berkembang. Kami hadir untuk melayani dan selalu mendukung pengembangan itu sepenuhnya. BNI 64 tahun turut mengembangkan Indonesia.
This is Kitaro's second concert in Indonesia. The first one was 15 years ago. Performed at the Jakarta Convention Center, the Silk Road World Tour 2011 is held in 5 big cities around Asia to promote the album Sacred Journey of Kukaiwan, Volume 4. The album receives a Grammy Awards nomination for Best New Age Album category. Do you think your music has changed since you started it almost over 40 years ago? And now, is there some kind of development that we can trace, and in how you approach music itself?
I think the style of approaching is a little different, maybe, from since beginning of my music career and now, but basically it's the same because I'm still using the same equipments and a little bit different synthesizers. Today's new technologies, digital keyboard, that's only different. Maybe a little bit another digital recorders. So the equipment is a little different, but it's the same person. So almost like the same.
But is there a point, you think, to your music, the desire to make music other than, to express nature? Is there an objective to it, perhaps?
So
ways to impact the world?
Yeah, that's the reason, one of the reasons I need to stay in the natures all the time. So then I can find out the theme each time when I go there, in the studio. And then I can find out the theme. Oh, okay, let's go this way today. And okay, tomorrow, nobody knows, but it's next day. Oh, okay, let's following this music is, okay, go this way. So every day is different. So every day is a new day.
You just allow yourself.
Yeah.
And when you travel around the world, of course, you perform many different countries with different cultures. What do you get from your travels and listening to the local music? Do you find that it enriches your composition?
I love local music. Each country has a different, and I love and listen, and sometimes I like to share with the local artist. That's my point of view, and but.
Do you absorb some of the traditional local music into your composition?
Sometimes affected because all the music instrument, like today's, it's like a boom, 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 boom. That's I like to know. I like to go to the local place, and then how long does it take to create that music instrument is, because. From the maybe ancient time, the ancestors, many generations created the music instrument.
Now, you've lived in the United States for over 30 years now, and your group is composed of, mostly non-Japanese. How does being Japanese, does it still have an influence in the sound of your music, the composition of your music, and the way? Is there still very much, the Japanese elements?
Elements we have. The already I have many of Japanese traditional instrument, but spiritually, I'm trying to, not following from like masters, the traditional musical instrument the master in Japan. I don't want to learn. I like to learn myself. Even the other equipment too. I like to create myself.
But do you find that working with other members of the group, how do you work together with them? And do you just, I have this music and this is, this is how it should be played, or how do you collaborate?
It's a kind of combining each person and playing, but sometimes try to hit it together. It's not a good. It's kind of fighting, but we need to try to listen and making these nice connections, and then more deeper and make a harmony. So we are trying to rehearsing each other's. Then we try to find out the timing. Mostly we are not on the score. We're not using the score. So sometimes we are not watching each other's, just the sound by sound. So it's like a talking by sound. And then many times of the rehearsal, and then we found out, okay, this is good. And sometimes it's not good. Don't use this one, that's right. So it's need to have a timing.
But do you have the same members in your group over the years?
Mostly same. But the last couple years, the new guitarist from Hungary is a nice spirit he has. So time by time, we sometimes change.
But you don't have any problems working together with people of different...
Oh, no problem. Kind of same feeling. I was so down. It's maybe a couple of days. I couldn't do anything.
Sometimes I need a blast. It's okay now, don't you worry. We're gonna dream the dream and make our story. Work hard, slim, smart, sure you can do. It's sure ain't easy, but don't you worry. Hey, live a sin and live a dream. You gotta work hard, you gotta slim, smart, work hard, slim, smart, sure.
Now, diet is easier than ever before. Sure you can do. WRP Diet to Go.
Kami merasakan harapan dan mengerti arti sebuah cita-cita. Kami percaya setiap orang punya potensi untuk selalu berkembang. Kami hadir untuk melayani dan selalu mendukung pengembangan itu sepenuhnya. BNI 64 tahun turut mengembangkan Indonesia.
Attending Kitaro's concert, one could see what kind of audience his music inspires. Thousands turn up, and it's hardly surprising to see a mixture of people from different backgrounds, places, and generations. Young and old, all are equally enthusiastic to watch the concert.
Kitaro is very inspiring for me because his music is very deep for me. I feel so deep, so happy when I heard his music. I can feel that I can fly to the others country or others somewhere out there, so something like that.
You don't have to listen to hip hop music just to hear something modern, but also not only classical music to hear something traditional, but you can also hear everything in Kitaro's music. Yeah.
Through his masterpiece songs like Heaven and Earth, The Light of the Spirit, Caravanserai and Matsuri, Kitaro captures the heart of his audience that night. Not only does the rhythm rouse the audience, but Kitaro's energy and totality throughout his performance seems to succeed in connecting the audience with some power greater than themselves. Who do you listen to? Who do you admire in the musical world?
Mostly I listen myself, and some other the VC or some classical music, mostly but it's quiet is the best because the quiet is one of the great music.
You don't listen to, for example, pop or jazz or
the pop is okay, but is not many. Jazz is okay, but it's pop. It's okay, but it's not listening myself somewhere,
But do you think that you'll be making music for the rest of your life? I mean, you're very prolific. You've produced a lot of albums, and you've won, many Grammys.
Some of them like a pop, some of little classical, little jazzy, but I can do many things. With lyrics, I mean, because most of your music is without English, but it's today ladies has a singing that was Chinese, because I composed the song. I watched the lyrics, and then the lyrics has a good pronunciation sounds. It's good. And then if we translate to the English, it's not good.
I see.
Yeah, the music, the melody line, and the language is very important. If translate is the same meaning, but it's nothing work. So that's she sing it the Chinese language.
Kitaro-san, we've the terrible tragedy in Japan with the tsunami, and the earthquake, and the nuclear problems. Share with us your thoughts, you being a Japanese, of what happened in Japan. Any of your families affected there?
Our family is okay. I checked 2 weeks ago. I went there, and they're okay. But
how did you feel when you first heard the news?
No, that's totally kind of natural disasters effect to my brain, because something like the kind of a trauma is since 2001 and 9/11. I had a flight to the mainland of United States, and then all of a sudden, we landed, and I realized the World Trade Center had attack, and then, oh gosh, I watched. Oh, looks like movies, and then this time the tsunami hit, like movies, but that was not movies. I think a movie is cheap. This is big, the real things. And kind of same feeling. It's I was so down. This maybe couple days, I couldn't do anything.
Kitaro's love of nature and respect for the earth seems to underlie his philosophy and view of life in general. The earthquake and tsunamis in Japan with its tragic consequences, including the radiation leak caused by damaged nuclear power plants, for him is a reminder of how much more dangerous the work of humans could be compared to that caused by natural disasters. The tragedy in Japan for Kitaro is an alarm call to make us rethink of our relationship with nature and the consequences of our acts towards the world that we live in. How do you think it would impact Japan, and what sort of lessons do you think?
Well, the first couple of days had nothing about nuclear power plants. The first day, 2 days, was just a 9.0 earthquake, and then tsunami attack hit it. That was, oh gosh, but it's, we cannot do anything because of big nature things. We are the the body is a part of the natures. So, well, it's very sad things, but it's suffering.
But what lesson do you think it would teach?
Well, I was trying to support and help them, because immediately I called to my friends and then let's help the peoples at the tsunami hit. And then after that, the nuclear power plants started the problem. That's the joke. It's like all the man-made. People decide that human made it, and then human have to control. They believe they could control any trouble, but right now seems like almost like they gave up. They couldn't do anything. So that's for me is joke. The humans are always decided which way we're going, and then humans always choose bad way.
Do you think music can help
I think
heal
music,
the world?
Yeah, music can do, but the music cannot do everybody. I think limited, because if the people doesn't have an open mind, couldn't help.
Okay, Kitaro-san, is there a message you'd like to give to our Indonesian viewers?
No, yes, I'm so happy, the Indonesian people decided still no nuclear power plants here, these countries. That is good things. Maybe I can move to Indonesia, because I love, these countries, and no nuclear power plants here. And because only the way for surviving the futures. But we need to do something to the Japanese government and then power company. I like to say, don't give up. Keep working.
Okay, Kitaro-san, thank you very much and good luck, and we're looking forward to many more of your beautiful music.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Terima kasih.
Arigato.
Sama-sama.
So what is my impression of Kitaro? Well, other than being a humble and an extremely kind man, I find that Kitaro has a high sense of curiosity and a deep respect for everything that life has to offer. His love of nature and his appreciation of the beauty of the world and the universe is also reflected in the hauntingly beautiful music that he creates that also transports the listeners to feel at one with nature and the universe. And that's all for tonight's episode. Don't forget to join me next month where we meet another figure who makes a difference to our lives here on Face to Face with Desi Anwar, bringing you the world.
Go!